from Thailand and Sub-Mekong region, we go to Singapore, Malaysia, and Johor region. I come from Indonesia, and I founded and execute the NGO in Batam. Riau Island is at the border of Singapore and Johor, Malaysia. Within the past years, Batam Island population exploded from 31,800 inhabitants in 1978 to more than 1 million in 2008. Besides population, companies also exploded from 10 in 1978 to almost 11,000 in 2002. With the company growth in the island, Batam became a destination area for migrants from all over Indonesia. Most of them are young women. It is also a transit place to cross Indonesia border to Singapore and Malaysia. For those who are not familiar with Indonesia, it is located southwest of Hawaii, Honolulu. The capital city is Jakarta, and from Jakarta to Batam, it takes like 1 hour and 20 minutes by flight, 24 hours by ferry. The next slide shows how close it is Batam to Singapore. It takes only 1 hour by ferry ride from Batam. Until 30 years ago, Batam was an obscure island of 450 square kilometers populated by only a few thousand fishermen and coconut farmers. In the late 1960s, as the territorial boundaries of Indonesia's state become relevant through an armed conflict with Malaysia, the possibility of transforming Batam into a site for development was first raised. Singapore's development into financial hub Singapore development into financial hub led to the outsourcing of much of its manufacturing sector to areas with lower labor costs. This region is bounded by a Memorandum of Understanding of Growth Triangle, which basically is a trans-border assemblage of land, labor, and capital. This is a scheme of economic complementary triangle where Singapore has the capital, skilled labor, access to work market, advanced technology, physical and commercial infrastructure. Malaysia has the land, semi-skilled labor, intermediate technology, and basic infrastructure, whereas Indonesia has unskilled labor, basic technology, natural resources, and underdeveloped land. The extreme gap between Singapore state and Batam Island is presented by an example of t-shirt advertising that Batam is a free island, while Singapore is a fine city. Now, this map of human trafficking is less complicated than Rose, but it's still complicated. Trafficked persons are transported and removed interterritorial. Most of the trafficked persons are forced labor in the plantation and construction work, as domestic servitude, and for commercial sexual exploitation. Every week, at least 10 migrant workers are deported from Malaysia to Riau Island. At least 30% of the total trafficked persons into prostitution are minors, and the situation gets worse due to very limited numbers and quality of service available to assist the trafficked person. Here is an example of women and girls trafficked pattern into prostitution. She can be recruited as a domestic worker to Singapore, never receive a salary, runs away, trafficked by a pimp, and rotated to several places in the region, or she could recruited directly by a pimp. And based on that situation, the MKK NGO initiated research, publication, outreach, and community education with up to total 30,000 beneficiaries. YMKK also take active part in the development of national NGO coalition, transnational collaboration initiative and policy advocacy. For example, we look at CEDAW, Convention on the Rights of the Child, and Protocol to Prevent, Suppress, and Punish Trafficking in Person, especially women and children, supplement of UN Convention Against Transnational Organized Crime, or Palermo Convention 2000. YMKK and UNIFEM Singapore become a key collaborator to journalists, media, to international organizations and film producers, especially assisting the field investigation. The media campaign is showing testimonials from identified trafficked person and showing Batam as a location for trafficked women and girls. After the media campaign comes another challenge. For those trafficked persons most severely abused, those violated the youngest ages, or those most vulnerable, the psychological burden may prevent them from moving beyond the trafficking experience and may even make them at risk of re-trafficking or other forms of abuse. Where should trafficked person or people who witness make report to? Is there a subsidy to get medical, shelter, and basic needs after they run away from the trafficker? How about the security of trafficked person, of people who witness the case, and also of the social workers? How do service providers respond to the trafficked person vision, hopes, and future? This is the UN Convention Against Transnational Organized Crime. As seen in this scheme, it's a guideline-specific measure to protect trafficked person from identification, access to justice, witness protection, and reintegration to the community. This guide is also adopted to the Eradication of Trafficking in Person Indonesia Criminal Law 2007. To be able to implement the right-based approach, NGO needs to relate to government institutions, international organizations, and other service agencies, and need to develop a task force. And these are other NGO work. We built a one-stop crisis center in 2007. We also conduct training of trainers to community educators and service providers. This is the photo of training of trainers to healthcare providers. And this is a photo of training of trainers to law enforcement agencies. We also do a prevention program. In summary, to help trafficking victims and trafficking person is not an easy task. We need lots of collaboration, needs lots of budget, and a big commitment